down there, they'll teach you Daniel 2 and 24.
No, you can read it. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to start off giving all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to our power.
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH.
Give honors to our elders and bishops of great millstones as well. Peace citation to the hopeful elect. Brothers from GMS Cleveland branch. Another midweek camp, Lord willing, is edifying to the spirit and power of YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. And we're going to roll through the spirit, you know, because what we're witnessing is the fall of an empire, all right, a fall of a kingdom, the end of a reign. Whatever fancy words you want to put there, we're witnessing the end. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, before you read that, what's that? Second Ezra 9. They say the end is manifest. And then we read that. Because that's what you see. You see the end manifest. There are different signs and indications that dictate the end of an empire. One of the major signs when you dictating the end of an empire or the end of one ruling will be its people rebelling against it. All right, the people coming up against it, division within the government that's set over that empire. Those are typical important signs that you see that indicate the end of an empire, bro. And that's exactly what you see here in Babylon the Great, which is aka America. You got it, all right?
Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 5. For like as all things is made in the world, hath a beginning and an end is manifest.
So it was by default that Esau's his empire wasn't gonna last. You see what I'm saying? He always, from the beginning of the time, the Lord set it up where his bounds he could not pass. He always had an end to his blessing or to his reign, because his reign is a part of his blessing. When you go back to Genesis 27, it reads the blessings that Isaac gave when the spirit you can receive it, YAHWASHI. He blessed Jacob and Esau with blessings, and both their blessings consisted of ruling the earth. It's just that one had an end and others didn't. Esau had the fatness of the earth, but his was going to come to an end because he was going to get it by the means of the sword. And that's what you see happening. Esau got the whole world under subjection by the way of his military, right? His dominance with the warfare, right? His slithery, his deceitful ways, but he used it by warfare. And that's what you see happening on the earth. He beat the whole earth into submission because that was his blessing. And that's how he got the earth. I tell you that in 1 Maccabees, the earth was quiet before him. So Esau's blessing is coming to an end. You're seeing the division within his military. You see the Lord's scripture talking about the teeth. The Lord is breaking the teeth. The Lord is breaking Esau's empire one step at a time, man. Right? From the people down to his government, down to the things that he's assigned at his world economic forums and stuff. So the end is manifest. Go ahead,
This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, right? And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Right, that he took peace from the earth. Because within his dominance, which was used by the sword, it actually did the opposite. It took peace from the earth, because in the process of him using the sword, it's a lot of bloodshed, it's a lot of slickery and backbiting and backdooring and shit that you gotta do. At your meetings, you say one thing and then you go do, you know? And he was able to overcome certain things that was agreed upon by the way of his sword. So therefore, by default, it took peace from the earth. It took the peaceful conscience that man will have when you're making agreements and deals and how you deal in society. Just that concept alone. And then on many other levels, right? How the world is structured, how the earth is ran. You know what I'm saying? The course of the world being out of course. Right, the stages of the world being out of course from the seasons to time to people. So he took peace from the earth from a physical standpoint and a spiritual standpoint, right?
He never teaches agreements. Whenever he signs an agreement, that's why the scriptures say, trust not your enemy. Because at the end of the day, he's going to break his agreement. If if he make an agreement with you and he can find that he can up one over you or get over on you, that's what he's gonna do. And in all the while smiling in your face, making you seem like he's for you when he's not. He's against you. That's why he's the devil.
Right, because the scripture tell you in Psalms 144 that his right hand is the right hand of falsehood. So things of power and strength is actually deceit and lies. So if Esau reaches his max of potency, or which he has, but if he reaches a max if he reaches a certain degree, it's going to be the height of wickedness. That's why the Lord got to come back and destroy this place, where the point that no man can live here again. Read that out. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a division in Babylon. That's another indication that this place is on its way out, because here it is, Trump trying to celebrate. You got something called semi-quincentennial. It's a 250-year mark where an empire has ruled, right? It's rare to see an empire ruling for 250 years plus. Here it is, you got Trump trying to celebrate that for a whole year long. He said he's going to have parades. He's going to have parades all throughout the year for next year, and make this a holiday. Right? Go ahead, Doc.
This is Mark chapter 3 and verse 24 in the NLT. It says, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse.
See? So a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. And that's what you see. Civil infighting. That's what civil war goes into. Civil infight. Civil comes from the word civilian, which deals with the people. You have a government infighting, and you also have a people infighting. That's what you see. So anytime you see those type of signs happening in a kingdom or empire, that's how you know this kingdom is on its way out. Same thing that happened with the first Rome. This is the second Rome. The first Rome, same thing happened with Nero. The many rulers that was going in with the Roman Empire, from the Greco-Roman Empire to whatever empire was during those times, it was a lot of infighting. So that kingdom always had certain type of, it had a time limit on it. You see, you think that kingdom heavily going to be infighting, think your house not going to be fighting with the same? No, it's not going to be no infighting, man. Because we're going to be on a one accord, one agreement, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Doc.
Nobody's going to want to be the man or have this territory, that territory. The Lord will put it in our spirit to be brotherly, man, to not hate one another, to thrive and to do good all the time, never to do evil. Right now, you see in the so-called MAGA community where they're infighting. You got Democrats saying don't follow what the President of the United States decrees. Right. You see, you got people that ran off of DJ Trump's ticket and got voted in, and now they're resigning because they don't want to be under this nigga. Right. That speaks volume, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. The Democrats said, because the Democrats said, what did Trump say? You saw his response?
Yeah, he said they should be put,
There you go. He said they should be deleted. Right? He said he called it what? What word did he use? He said sedition.
Sedition, yeah.
He called it sedition. All right? Because you have what it appeared to the people, you have two opposing parties at odds with each other, where we're supposed to be in agreement with each other. That's what he was pushing. So he said, hey, this is an act of sedition, and because of this act of sedition, you have to be unalive. That's the penalty for the act of sedition. All right, so if he's willing to take it that far with his own government officials, how much more the people? Okay, because that's the time we're coming into. Rebellion, civil war. Go ahead, you got something?
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I have come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straightened till it be accomplished? Verse 51. Suppose ye that I have come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division. So that's it, the words of Yahawashi read letter. He said, if you think or suppose that I'm coming, my spirit is coming into the earth and it's gonna, bring peace to the earth, then you're wrong. Okay? When the Lord's spirit is in the earth, which it is, beginning with the elders and apostles, the great millstone, and the great millstone brothers on the highways and byways, the Lord's spirit in the earth is going to bring a spirit of division. Because even when Yahawashi was on the scene, the people was divided concerning him. Okay? It said there was a division amongst the people concerning him. Because the things that he was saying was controversial, but the things that he was saying was the truth. You see? And the truth is on the scene right now. Like I said, it's on the housetops right now. To the point where these independent media guys who are against the system, a lot of the verbiage and the narrative that they come with, it started out here on the streets, man. Okay, it started with the prophets, man. Okay, the things that they're saying, their train of thought, their reasoning, it started with the prophets, man.
Yeah, because the scriptures say, if I can add to your point, they say the truth will set you free. The truth set us free. That's what the major thing on how this empire ran through the bondage of the mind, right? Starting with Israel first. But the truth has put those shackles off, and therefore truth is spring forth into the earth, and not just the truth of life and the scriptures, but you have other things that come from the truth. A lot of people like don't know that they're operating in truth just from the vibration that's being out there, from wearing beards to their faces and dealing with the woman a certain way. Women didn't know certain things, certain vibrations is in the earth because the prophets came on the scene, which destroyed the strongholds, these doctrines and these philosophies that has the shackles on the people's mind, mainly starting with the Israelites, man. And another scripture the brother had me think about was when he said Yahawashi set up for the rise and the fall of Israel. Brother paraphrasing right here, Yahawashi was set up as a stumbling block. You see, that's why he said, "Woe to him that is offended in me," because when you go into that word offended, it goes into stumbling. So woe to him, meaning death and destruction to him that I become a stumbling block too, because I'm the way out. I'm salvation. I'm what set your mind free from the shackles of Rome. You see? And being set free from the shackles of Rome mentally is what's corrupting this place from the inside out. Esau thought he could put us in one place in the belly of the beast and keep us there, and we won't be able to, since we won't be able to get out on the outside, we won't be able to destroy him. Right. Nigga, what? We destroying this nigga from the inside out. See, and that's the worst because he can't see it coming. He don't see it coming. The prophets, well, we're gathering, we're meeting, we're breaking down the scriptures, right? You know what I'm saying? No, having fellowships. Those are things that Esau, that's why you got to infiltrate us and put somebody on the inside, because we're destroying him from the inside out. Some things he can't see, you got to have a surveillance. You know what I'm saying? The cameras everywhere, because the prophets is too dangerous, man. You got something else going?
Yeah, this is Luke. Reading on Luke chapter 12, verse 52. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3.
Right, because it said, what if if it already be kindled? The fire is already lit, right? You got these different, just from voting, people couldn't agree on voting, right? This is the worst time in history when it came to voting. Mm-hmm. You had two, both parties, you ain't know who to fucking vote for. So you got people, so if you chose one, now you automatically an enemy, all right? If you don't choose, you're still an enemy. So we had a division at all-time highs, even down to voting, right? When it comes to everything, bro, within the households. Go ahead, all right?
It says, verse 53, the father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father.
Right, you had the video where the Edomite child sits on his dad for not taking the jump shot. Nigga 12 years old going live like, yeah, my father didn't take it because they was looking for him. You see what I'm saying? So you got people divided, even from sons and fathers, man.
It says the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Right. And, especially now, like even in the average date family, yeah. Your baby mama don't get along with your mama. You know what I'm saying? That's the daughter-in-law divided against the mother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Or the baby father don't get along with her father. You know what I'm saying? That shit is common. That shit is damn near everywhere, man. You can't escape them type of things, man. You know, but that's the Lord creating that spirit of division in the earth. Because the Lord don't want our people to be unified. The only ones that He wants to be unified is the elect. They're gonna be the ones that have one mind. Okay? They're gonna all speak the same thing. Okay? None of you people in the world, none of you can say that you and your group or your organization, y'all all have the same mindset, have the same opinion concerning judgment, justice, equity. Okay? Only the elect will.
Because that's very important that you be on one accord. Like if you imagine like your mind is telling your body to walk, but you sit down, like how bugged out is that?
That's how we know this system is one system.
Yes.
If you still wrapped up in Democrat, Republic, you're lost, man. Okay? Because like the brother said, it's two wings of the same eagle. Mm-hmm. When you got a left hand or a right hand and you get into a fight, they both work together to get you the victory. If I'm a bird, both wings have to flap in order for me to get to my destination. So by you going with the left or with the right, it don't matter. It's one government, man. And them niggas was getting paid while you wasn't. While the government was shut down, them niggas was still getting paid, man. It shows you y'all ain't on the same team.
This is Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Speaking it on being on one mind and one accord. This is why we know the men of the Lord, the true believers in the name of HABANAWA are on one accord. It says, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. And that's just the bottom line. That's how you know this place is destroyed. Because just like the brother just said, you can't name one organization, one church where there's not some type of backsliding or somebody against another person or division, period. Yeah. You're not going to have that, you know, amongst the men who's seeking YAHAWASHI. Because why? Because there's order. That's why. Because there's accountability. And above all, the fear of the Lord, which gives you that wisdom to understand, well, if I step out of order, that could be my life. See, you people don't even understand that, right?
That's perfect, because Isaiah 33:6, it say, wisdom and knowledge is committed in our time, and at the end it said the strength of the fear of the Lord is the strength of our salvation. Roughly paraphrasing, something to that effect. So we're perfecting the fear of the Lord. That's what's going to get us out of here. You see what I'm saying? And by default, us in the process of that purging, which is us being perfected in the fear of the Lord, is bringing Esau's kingdom down. Because our perfection, us getting closer to perfection, is bringing Yahawah closer. And if Yahawah is coming closer, two kings can't run at the same time. One gonna have to be moved out the way, and we know it ain't Yahawah, man. Because he said, I will not come to meet you as a man. This time he's coming to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. Okay? Hey, he said, we say wisdom, in Proverbs it tells you, wisdom buildeth a house and have hewn out her 7 pillars, man. Roughly paraphrasing. And that's what you see being happening. Those pillars are the elect, all right, of that house.
That house is the house of David.
That's right.
Yeah. Ain't no heathen a part of the house of David, man.
That's right.
Okay, the Lord, King David, he put down the heathen, man. Okay, he had them all in subjection, he had them all in captivity, man. Okay, so when you talk about, matter of fact, get that real quick, Amos 9.
I'm just holding that's the spirit.
Because that's what the Lord is doing. He's restoring the house and he's building up the ruins as before.
Exactly.
And so if he's building up those ruins as before, you got to go back to the history when David was ruling and seeing how the earth was, because that was a glimpse into the kingdom. When Solomon was ruling, that was a glimpse into the kingdom. Okay? And what were the heathen doing in that glimpse? What was the Israelites doing during that glimpse?
Yep.
How were they living? Yep. How was the earth? Okay? You got it? Whoever got it.
This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 8. Behold. 11. Yeah. Amos chapter 9 and verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Right. The tabernacle of David that is fallen. That's the Israelites, man. Okay, all the 12 tribes came to David and said, we are bone of thy bone, flesh of thy flesh, we will serve you, you know, you be our king. Okay, that was all the Israelites that said that. There was no heathen there.
Yep.
Okay? Go ahead, though.
It says, I'll start from the top. Amos 9 and 11. And in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
Right, the breaches is not talking about Israel and the heathen. The breaches is between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay? He's going to take away that division. He's going to take away that envy. Okay, Isaiah the 11th chapter. Okay, that vexation. Okay, that's him closing the breaches, and the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom are going to come together in one agreement. Okay, and shall appoint themselves one head. Okay, right. Ezekiel 37.
Right.
Okay?
That shows you the importance of being whole. You see, that's what we started off with division. When you divide it, there's no way you can stand. Like, that's Yahawah knows the importance of us being whole. So we had to come back together as a nation. Southern and northern kingdom was split. In order for that, the kingdom of heaven to come, we had to come back together.
Right, and the heathen, they hated David, man.
Yeah, bro.
It says in Revelation 11, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Yep.
Okay, the heathen, they hated David. Look up the Meshe Stele. The Meshe Stele stone
Yep.
by, I forget the Moabite king,
Yeah.
but it's an inscription in stone. And it talks about how they conquered Israel. It mentions Malak Dawadah, okay? Because the heathen, they hated David because they knew what and David was long dead at that time. But he still had to mention David's name because he's like, yeah, we got the Israelites.
Yeah, King
And that David, what is his name?
King Mesher.
Yeah, King Mesher. That's why it's called the Meshe Stele. Stele means stone. Okay? So you got it.
It says, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Right. So the Lord is building it just like in the days of old, man. David had the heathen. He said he had Edom in captivity. He had the Syrians in captivity. He had all the heathen in captivity. And how was the world? Was the world a shithole like it is now under the Edomites? Or was it perfect peace? Was it peace or was it world peace, as you people say? We need world peace. If you need world peace, you need the Israelites to rule.
Yep. When Solomon actually ended up having that reign, like you said, it was 40 years of peace.
Right.
It was 40 years of peace, man. Everything, when the Israelites is back, everybody wants the Israelites to run the world because everything benefits on the earth. You don't have to worry. It ain't, listen, man. Hey, I forgot the video, what happened in the video, but I forget exactly the breakdown, but basically a nigga gotta steal because he ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Why would I have to steal if I have? You know what I'm saying? Or if I have enough. You understand? Even the heathen gonna have their own land, all right, and governance within their own nation, all right, but they all gonna fall under the lines and the governance, the total governance of YAHWASHI.
And that's after the first 1,000 years.
There you go.
So that first 1,000 years is gonna be recompense. Which is payback. Okay, because all you heathen, you put us into captivity. None of you heathen went to war with the United States for what they did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Come on, man.
None of you heathen went to the League of Nations and said, here, we need to put sanctions on the U.S. and we need to wage war against them because what y'all did to them. None of you, you didn't care. So why now y'all opening the book to try to fit them into the prophecies, man? What type of Stockholm syndrome shit is that?
They said they took crafty counsel. They left all of the nations.
Right.
All y'all niggas conspired against us to keep us in this condition because y'all benefited, y'all got rich off our enslavement.
That's right.
You see? And why would you be partakers in the kingdom? Or in the sense of the salvation, partakers in salvation? Because y'all gonna be in the kingdom, y'all just gonna be tributaries.
Right.
You see? You ain't gonna take part of that good things of the Israelites, man.
Everlasting life.
Yeah, you see? Immortality and shit and stuff like that.
Interplanetary travel.
Yup.
We may, I don't know, but I don't see that there.
Right.
That may be one of the things somebody's gonna find out.
Shit, I don't see. That's a good point, though. Look, a lot of us is subject to the areas we live in. We can't go to the different countries and shit. So why would these niggas be able to do that? The Lord said they're gonna receive double for what they did, bro. It's gonna be worse for these niggas, bro. Like, go ahead, bro.
That's cool, because the next precept tells you exactly what's going to happen to them. It's Amos 9 and 12. It say that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name.
We're gonna possess all the heathen, man.
See that?
We're gonna possess Edom, and we're gonna possess all the heathen. What is a possession? It's mine. I do what I want with it.
Fine.
If I want to take his offspring and dash it against the rocks, I can do that because it's mine. Okay, that's written. Okay, so that's a part of that recompense, man.
And we're gonna take the lands of Edom as well.
Yup.
That was going into. We're gonna take the lands of Edom. You know, after 1,000 years of captivity, hardcore captivity, that first dominion in the kingdom, like he was talking about, we're gonna put hardcore hell on these heathens, namely Esau, Edom. And then after that 1,000 years, Esau, Edom gonna be done away with, and then the rest of these heathens, they gonna go to their designated lands. We're gonna set up a government for them, so they can, you know, so they can live, all right, you know, and pay tributary to us. And then we gonna possess the lands of Edom, man.
Yeah, because the earth belongs to us.
But that's in unison. In order for us to possess the lands of Edom, this place got to fall first.
That's it.
Esau,
That's it.
his whole dominion, His whole rulership, his whole triumph, it has to get taken down.
Right, so that's the default. The default is that if we're saying that the kingdom of Israel or the kingdom of YAHWASHI outside, man, what the fuck out of if the kingdom of YAHWASHI outside is coming to the earth, it's going to be set up under the house of, which we, the scripture mentions like the house of David. By default, you have to go out. You can't stay here if the house of David is going to be established on the earth. Because like Quam said, when the house of David was up and running and it was on the earth at that particular time, you niggas was in subjection. You niggas was in servitude.
Yeah,
y'all wasn't saying with King David.
Yeah, it say talk about how King David set up garrisons in Edom, how he was set up garrisons in Moab, how he was doing with the things he was doing to Moab.
That's right.
You know, he line them up and motherfucker jump off the cliff, man. You know?
Shit was
so this is the type of things we was doing to the heathens, man.
That's right.
Because they was another thing that was bucking up. They weren't trying to get in subjection under the righteous order. Right, exactly.
Yep. But these niggas talking about the heathen that's the heathen, there's gonna be some heathen that keep the commandments. Well, where is that? What scripture is that?
Right.
You know, 2nd and 3rd chapter say, thou shalt find that Israel have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen, man. Why the heathen didn't keep the commandments during the tabernacle of David? You know? Why they didn't, you know, you guys is clowns, man. But anyway, read that, because the brother made the point about how we're going to possess the land of Edom after 1,000 years and Edom is exterminated. Read that real quick.
Obadiah 1:18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
So how the hell, like real talk, how the fuck is the Lord gonna save an Edomite and then exterminate all the Edomites, man? That don't even make sense. Oh, you gonna get salvation, you gonna get in the chariot, and then after 1,000 years, the Lord gonna burn your ass up. Hey, what type of salvation is that? Oh, the heathen, they gonna get salvation, but then when we let them down off the chariot, they gonna get a rod of iron upside their head. What type of salvation is that?
Yeah, and what cuts this, what automatically cuts this statement is that 2/3 of our own nation will not receive salvation. Right, 2/3 the Israelites won't receive salvation on this side. Only the elect is receiving salvation.
That's the apple of the Lord's eye.
Come on, man.
Not the heathen. The heathen ain't the apple of the Lord's eye. So how the hell can the heathen jump in front of the Israelite and get salvation, man? But he's the Savior of the nation of Israel. That's written over and over again. He is the God of Israel. That's written over and over again. Okay? So keep going on that Obadiah. Gotta read the next verse. Because he said we're going to possess Edom land. Yep. So that's the verse that shows Edom going to be extinct. And then we're going to continue to read to see what's going to happen after that.
I'll try to fire
What verse you at? 19. Obadiah 1:19. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau.
See, we're going to possess Esau land. Go ahead.
And
right, it's a lot if I can add, because the verse above said that we was going to be like a flame of fire, right? And basically the whole nation would be as fire, and Esau would be as stubble. So what happens to stubble when you throw it in the fire? It quickly evaporates. That shit quickly disintegrates, man. Hey. You can hear it crackling and shit.
And then these Genesis dudes, this nigga Hassan said, would you want to be on a chariot with a wicked Israelite? Somebody who takes advantage of little people, or somebody who burns people alive? I'm thinking, bro, the priests burn people alive, man. What are you talking about? The Lord said we're going to burn the Edomites alive, man. What's wrong with you, dude? See, that's what happens when you get caught up in your emotions. It said this wisdom comes not from above, but it's earthy, sensual, man. All up in your feelings and shit, man. Put your big boy pants on, okay, and maybe you'll be able to understand judgment, okay? But it said evil men understand not judgment.
Right, there you go. That's right.
try to use burning somebody alive as an example of wickedness. And I'm like, bro,
That's
what?
all the heathen ever done to us is burn us alive, all type of shit.
Oh yeah, they take photos. You know the famous photo with the Israelite.
Right.
He's
tied
tied
from
up.
backwards, bro.
Come on.
The man is tied from here to his fucking backwards.
That's a goddamn hog or something, bro.
And he's on fire in the picture. You can tell that he's still on fire. The fire, you can still see the fire in the picture. There's a bunch of Edomites standing there posing and cheesing and
That
shit.
shit ain't gonna get overlooked.
Yeah, bro, because the scriptures tell you in Revelations that the YAHWASHI is coming to judge and righteousness. And I forget how I go in righteousness when he made war. So, and part of that righteousness when he making war is a part of it's fire coming to America. So niggas gonna get burned up.
You gonna burn
What are
300
you
million
talking
people.
about? Like, what is this nigga talking
The
about?
second death is niggas gonna be burned.
Yeah, what are you
bro.
talking about? Man, can I
Yeah,
I can show you.
yeah.
This is out of the abundance of the heart and mouth speaker. It say a fool may be known in his talk, man.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
So you guys, you just keep talking, man. You're not going to see the elect.
Yeah, they trap themselves up. They trap themselves up. I talk about fools use words of speech or something to that effect. If I read. But can I read? I'm gonna read this 18 back in the NLT. You keep that right back. This Obadiah 1. There's only one chapter, 1 and 18. The people of Israel will be a raging fire in the NLT, if I didn't say that. And Edom a field of dry stubble. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame roaring across the field, devouring everything. There will be no survivors in Edom. I, the Lord, have spoken it. There you go. He said there will be none survivors in Edom, man.
So how they going to receive salvation just to be exterminated? What type of, you know, like, the heathen, like I said at the camp last week, the heathen ain't getting a rod of iron upside their head right now. So, but you talking about they going to get salvation, they like, that ain't no salvation. I'd rather be here, drinking my Starbucks and, you know what I'm saying, eating my fucking sushi or whatever, man. They go to the kingdom and get a rod of iron upside my head, man. They're not gonna, it's not gonna be pretty for them, man. Yeah. At all, man.
You see it, that's why they crashing out like they is. Like these Edomites crashing out because they don't want that.
They know they ain't got no way in.
Yeah, exactly.
If they had a way in, they wouldn't try to silence us.
Yep.
If they had a way in, they would just conform to the way in.
Bro, perfect, bro. They said he saw the carefully with tears. There's no way in. See, that's how that proves it. Because he will be doing, like you said, he will be doing everything to do. He won't be doing it how he's doing it.
Right.
He won't be trying to merge man with machine. He won't be doing it like that.
Right.
Instead, why not just continue to act like you the people and do the people the way of the Lord? Why you gotta come up with a whole new way?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you was able to be accepted in, you won't have to come up with a whole new way, a new system and all this and shit.
I can't wait to see all the Edomites and all the Moabites and the Edomites that's gonna join y'all camp. You know, I can't wait to see that. I know I'm gonna be waiting forever, but I can't wait to see it. You know,
Shit, they probably already there because these niggas don't got the spirit.
ain't no heathen gonna come, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the point. Like even what's the guys that fell out of GMS Boston? They was teaching that same shit. Ain't no heathen ever came. Y'all went out. Y'all was on the highways and byways pushing that shit. Ain't no heathen come to you and say I want to join nothing, man.
Bro, exactly. And then one more point. On top of that last point, like, we at the end. That's what we started off with. So now this is the way. Like that would mean we got.
They got the revelation.
Yeah, we got they got the revelation. Now we gotta follow them. They're the elders, and then apostle and them gonna go to the spirit world. We gonna get old. You know what I'm saysaying? Like
And just
yo,
be here,
you know, another
bro.
10, 20. Bro, what are you?
While y'all gathered 144,000.
Come on, man. No, man. So that was the way that the Lord would have it that way, but that's not the way. You see? That's not the fucking way, bro. We already built and we're building on a solid foundation. You see? They trying to tear down what we building and what we building? The house of David. We building the third temple right before your eyes and you joining hand with the heathen and trying to tear it down, man.
This is perfect.
Go ahead, Doc.
It's Ezra chapter 4, verse 1.
Beautiful.
Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple upon the Lord, power of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel, and to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them, let us build with you.
Now the point here is the adversaries.
Right.
He said when the adversaries came, man.
Yes.
The adversaries are who? The Israelites, who have always been the heathen. There's no heathen nation that was ever an ally to Israel. Not one. You can't find that precept. Well, in this verse, in this chapter, the Moabites were an ally to Israel. It ain't there. Or the Edomites was an ally to Israel. It ain't there. There's no nation that was ever an ally to the nation of Israel. They've always been adversaries, adverse, meaning against. Okay, why? Because the Lord created them that way. Okay, go ahead though.
It says, still in
Now,
verse...
now they said, let us build with thee, right? Okay.
Verse 2, still in verse 2, it says, for we seek your power as ye do.
Right. Hey, and even you had those Hamites that was transplanted into the land in 1 Kings the 17th chapter, and they was keeping the commandments all the way up until the time of YAHWASHI. And that's why you get the conversation between him and the woman at the well. And what did the Lord tell her? He said, it ain't for you. He said, you don't even know what you're worshiping. You're wasting your time.
The key words, he said, salvation is of the Jews.
Bro.
That's what he said.
He made it so, look, you're wasting your time.
Yes,
Okay?
bro.
Your salvation's not for you. Okay? It's for my people. It said the true worshipers. So you can worship, the heathen can worship all they want. They can keep whatever commandment till they blue in the face. But the true worshipers is the ones that's going to receive the promise. Because it goes back to the promise that was made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah, they were never married to the Lord.
Right.
The heathen were never married to the Lord, bro. So they never revealed the secrets. They never received the wisdom. The wisdom is a part of the secret.
Right.
It's the secret.
It's them. There you go.
You know?
Psalm 147.
Yup. Oh, what you got in that?
No, still more. It say verse 2, let us build with you, for we seek your power as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Ashur, which brought us up hither.
Right.
Verse 3, but Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power.
That's no. That's like
No, you got it.
But
I was gonna say just a quick point because Zerubbabel is Zerai Babal, right? That's how you say Zerubbabel in the Hebrew. Zerai seed.
I mean, you might
So-
Zariah Allah?
Yeah, right. Zariah Allah.
Zariah
No,
Allah.
it's not Zariah Allah.
But it's Zerai Babal, I believe. But it's sown in Babylon. I know that's kind of, I think it's that interpretation. But that's the spirit, because that's what you see again. The prophet sown in Babylon through the seed of David. King, I think Zerubbabel through the spirit would be King David, right? If my memory serves me correctly. So sown in Babylon, just like what we reading here. Niggas trying to hinder our building again. Here we is building the tabernacle and the temple of YAHWASHI, the house of David, and niggas coming out of nowhere trying to fucking kick the brick out. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to dry the mold, you know, it's drying and niggas poking the fucking, like, bro, what are you doing?
But
Like,
they know us coming back to our power, but ultimately they won't have no power. You know what I'm saying? And
Right,
all
right.
the heathens know that.
Right.
Us coming back to our true state
Right.
is gonna lead you to do what? Be servitude under us, man. And none of the heathens want that, because that's why the scriptures say, why do the heathen rage in vain? You know? Because they want rulership over the earth. They want the next rulership.
Right.
And they're not gonna get it. That's the point you got.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Since you said that, that's another point. Psalm the 2nd chapter.
Yeah.
David said, okay, go read that real quick. We gonna get them all out.
That's right.
Read that real quick though, verse 1 and 2. King David made a key point. He said, and they imagine a vain thing, meaning it's empty, it don't come to naught. You know what I'm saying? That they ain't got no rulership in the world to come. He said he made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Okay? Read that.
Psalms chapter 2. Start at verse 1. Yeah. Verse 1. Why do the heathen rage? And the people imagine a vain thing.
Why are the heathen conspiring and imagining this vain thing? Okay? Because
It says, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
They conspiring so that they don't go into slavery. What's wrong with these dudes, man? They're going into slavery, man. That's why they doing what they doing to try to stop it.
Yeah, because even when we had them in slavery during King David, they seek to be loose. When we had them when we had their ass in servitude during the time of the so-called Dark Ages, they seek to be loose, and the prophecy happened to where they were loose. after that, man.
Yup.
So you think you about to rule now and in the kingdom of heaven for eternity?
Yeah, it
No,
said
man.
a little while, didn't it? Like it said, I'm gonna get that precept. I got a perfect precept for you, bro. About, I think it's one to King David, but it said like hands should be broke off.
I'm talking about Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis.
He said they break their yoke from off thy neck.
Oh,
yeah. The water. That's them being loose from that servitude for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Even in
That was after David, one of David's sons, Joel.
the water, exactly. Yup. And then if you can link it to Revelation 20 when they say he should be loose a little while. Talk about the
That was that dark age.
That was the dark age. So even going back to that time, they said a little while. He's only loose for a little while. That's it.
So they doing all this conspiring so that they don't go into slavery, but
Yes.
you guys are saying that they gonna get salvation. Then why they doing the raising?
Right.
Why they raising me?
Why they having these UN meetings? Why they having these G Summit meetings
WEF.
somewhere all the way out the fucking country where you don't know where the fuck it's at?
Ain't no niggas there.
Ain't no niggas there. And fuck Nicki Minaj being at the UN thing, bro.
She was there?
Yeah, she was at the
speech.
yeah, giving some type of
She sucked on Trump's law too. She was like, he's such a guy. I just want to thank Donald Trump for this and this and that. And I said, that's a nigga woman right there for you, boy.
Well, even the servant.
Yeah, because they rule this kingdom together.
Yep.
They both going down. Eve and the serpent, man. It said through her we all die. And death, that's what the Lord said he's coming to put under his feet. It's two of them. It's a cold one that's, I think it's in Peter, I think here is that, but it's another one in 1 Corinthians. The Lord coming to put death under his feet. You see? So sin is coming to be put under the Lord's feet, man. So Keisha, everybody, and that know the mindset of Esau is getting put out, man. So how could they receive salvation? Salvation, when you go into the word salvation, it goes in one of the things it says free from harm and danger and many other things. You see? We need freedom
This
from
salvation
that shit,
right
man.
now.
Exactly,
They say the
bro.
houses are safe from fear.
Come on,
It's
man.
their kingdom right now, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so what do they need salvation from?
Exactly.
Right,
They
bro.
being blessed right now.
Yes.
We're receiving the curses, they're receiving blessings. In the kingdom, they're gonna receive the curses, we're gonna receive the blessings. And like I said, it's never both. It's either the Israel is blessed and the heathen is cursed, or the heathen is blessed and Israel is cursed. That's how it is, pursuant to the law.
Right. Hey, and one more point, because when you go into that word, they use it as in Christianity, but it says being saved from sin and its consequences, the word for salvation. So it says being saved from sin and its consequences. The only ones doing that is the elect. The elect they're mentally detached from sin. Everybody else falls under that category.
And that's the new bodies too.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying?
that's exactly. Our body is going to link over our mind eventually. Our body is going to match the way we think. You think we won't think like this and these bodies, we keep these bodies the same? No, bro. We think with a high vibration. So eventually our body's going to match the way we think. That's salvation. That's the twinkle in the eye being changed, man. That's salvation. Go ahead, Art.
It's Ezra 4:3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house into our power.
So I guess Zerubbabel was wicked. So he's saying the same thing we saying. These heathen, they don't got nothing to do with us to build this third temple. They're not a part of the third temple. Okay? It say YAHAWASHI was the chief cornerstone of the third temple. He was the Israelite. All the other stones gonna be Israelite stones.
Right.
Ecclesiastes the 3rd chapter, a time to throw, cast away stones, and a time to gather stones. The stones is Israel. It said, ye as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood. That's always spoken about Israel, a peculiar people, a holy priesthood. Pursuant to the book of Peter, man.
You only have I known out of all the families of the earth. Hey, it tell you about Daniel 2, because we're going to get that book. About the mix with miry clay, mixed material. They don't bind together. You see what I'm saying? The nations don't bind because it's mixed material. Yaquan mentioned YAHAWASHI being the chief cornerstone. Well, then that's what started the build. So you will have to build with the same type of stones. You can't come in with something else. So the same stones got to be there next because they got the same mind.
That's the spirit when I was got the care. I was listening to the apostle sit down bishop, and he said the exact same thing. He said, how could the heathen deal with us when you have to build on the cornerstone of YAHAWASHI? They don't have that. So it's impossible for them to receive salvation. They're building their house on their God and what they believe in. You know, so it just ain't gonna work like that, you know. They can't build with us, man.
It says, continuing on, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded us.
So they're like, look, we're going to build to our God. He's our God. Why would you build? In Joel 2:27, I am your God and none else. Okay? So what scripture say, I'm now the God of the heathen? See, when you read the New Testament and it mentions Gentiles, you got to know the history, man. You got to know that Israel became Gentiles. And it was prophesied that Israel would become Gentiles. This is why the Apostle Paul, he's constantly going through the history of the Israelites. Ye all passed through the sea and were under the cloud. You know, Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, goes into, you know, how ye were Gentiles and strangers from the commonwealth of Israel, man. This is why he's always linking. He said, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. How our fathers all came out of Egypt, and the Lord destroyed them that believe not. Look at paraphrasing the scripture. That's why Apostle Paul is constantly going through the history of the Israelites, because he's talking to Israelites in these various churches. The church of Corinth, the church of Ephesus, and the church of Colossus.
Exactly.
You know?
That's the point. Bro, beautiful. What's the context of what's going on here? Who's talking to who?
Right.
Those are letters being sent to the churches in these different regions. Pertaining to the doctrines that infiltrated the churches from the city and the things that was going on in the city and the mindset that Israel had from being Hellenized and all these different things. That's the context of the whole New Testament. Even Stephen, when he was coming for, they was like, hold on, this nigga tripping type shit. But what did Stephen do? He ran down the whole history. You're like, I ain't coming with no new doctrine. Hold on, let me reassure you. And then he ran down the whole history. Hold on, I'm starting here, the flood, the this, the that, the Egypt, all the way down the whole history. Because I'm telling you that I'm coming with the same message.
Yeah. He was telling them niggas, y'all always refuse the prophets of the Lord, man.
Yes.
Y'all always refuse the spirit of the Lord. This ain't nothing new.
And that's proof he was talking to Israelites.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
You got to say.
Oh yeah, real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 23. It says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our power is the salvation of Israel. So who's those hills and multitude of mountains? You know how many fucking nations of heathens it is? It's more heathens than it is Israelites, man. But the Lord chose Israel. He chose him one pit, you know? One people. And it was the lesser people. He made us lesser in quantity, but he made us greater all around, better than you fucking heathens, man. And then what did he do? He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. He didn't give it to the heathens, man. So truly in vain is salvation hoped for from these fucking heathens.
I mean, there's more Israelites on earth than any other nation.
Yeah,
but when he scattered us, we became, you know, we were at a disadvantage. You know?
When you say the black community and the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans, then you will look and you say, oh yeah, we're the smallest, but if we're under the nation of YAHWAH, we're the sand of the sea. You can't count us. You know, and to the brother's point, he gave us the laws and statutes and commandments. That's how you know the Lord loved us and not the heathen, right there. Because he didn't give them the law, statutes, and commandments. So he'll allow a heathen to eat turtle and alligator and all abominable foods. But to us, we eat it. There's a consequence for it. You're gonna get sick, all right, and eventually you're gonna die because the wages of sin is death. But that's how the Lord done us, man. That's the separation right there. The law, statutes, and commandments, and that's the ultimate love, man. To show a difference between the heathen and the Israelites, man.
Yeah, because that's what, again, that's the marriage. That's the union.
Yep.
So that nations can do that because they never was married into the Lord. They had to get taught the ways of the Lord. The ones that teach them the ways of the Lord is the Israelites. Blacks, Hispanic, Native Seminole Indians, and the Scrapper Bird that live like the other nations. Y'all the ones, we're the ones that teach the nations the ways of the Lord. So if we're not teaching the ways of the Lord, then who's teaching you the ways of the Lord? Nobody.
That's another cut, man.
Come on, man.
Isaiah the 2nd chapter, it says, come, let us go to the house of the Lord. and he will teach us of his ways. That he is Jacob.
Yes.
They know heathen gonna be teaching other heathen, man.
Come on, man.
It's gonna be only Israelites teaching the heathen. Why? Because the Israelites are the ones that were saved and changed. Okay? They didn't partake in the curses. When I'm talking about the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade. They ain't say I want to be a slave too. So when they get their blessing, I can get their blessing too. None of them said that, man.
Right.
Or even in the ancient world, when you had Northern Kingdom in captivity, and those heathens was in Samaria, they sent Levites down there to teach them the law, man.
Yep.
They ain't have no heathen trying to teach them niggas the law.
Exactly.
They had to teach they had to get the real Israelites, the priests who instituted the law, to teach those heathens how to keep it, man.
Beautiful, bro. And that's in the book of Ezra, in the Apocrypha.
And they wouldn't even
going
keep
to
it.
that.
Right.
Yup.
Get that Matthew 1 real quick.
This is Matthew 1, verse 21.
So we talked about Yahawashi being the chief cornerstone. Therefore, all the other stones that he came for is Israelites. Okay, read that though.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahawashi, for he shall save his people from their sins.
So Yahawashi come and save his people from their sins. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you get the heathen out of that?
Why doesn't it say he comes to save all people?
Right.
From their sins.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like these are motherfuckers that teach us, say this is proper English. That was proper English right there.
And that's an angel. Angels don't misspeak.
Right.
They don't, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? He knew exactly what to say, man.
Yeah, bro. In every translation, it's written the same.
I'm not going to Matthew
Like
2 and 6 real
translation.
quick.
Written the exact same way.
This is Matthew chapter 2
Hey,
and verse 6.
And I can make a point, the book of Matthew was written in Hebrew first, before it was translated to the Greek. So it was even more on point and more accurate. But go ahead,
Matthew chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
One of the Lord's people is Israel, man. Okay, over and over again, man. And Yahawashi is that governor that's going to rule his people Israel. Okay? He said we shall sit on 12 thrones, judging and commanding the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Okay?
12
The heathen, yeah, 12 gates, 12 angels guarding the gates. And names written on the gates which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. How do you guys break down Revelation 11th chapter? And the court which is without leave out and measuring not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, man.
Right.
Y'all out here measuring the Gentiles. The Lord said don't do that.
That's right. That's right. That's
Come
right.
on,
Hey,
man.
yeah, you remember, even going back to remember in when we kept the Passover? When we kept the Passover in Exodus 12, around there, 12, 13, all that. Remember when the heathen came out with us? But what happened? It was a separation.
The heathen can't keep the Passover.
That's the point,
Which means
man.
that Yahawashi is not their Passover and judgment won't pass over them.
Even though they came out of Egypt with us.
Right.
Like, so it's like no way around your point, bro.
They got up anyway. They ain't going to the promised land.
That's the point,
So
man.
what do it matter?
It don't matter.
But Yahawashi is that land without blemish. His blood was only sacrificed for Israel. That's what the symbolism of the Passover is.
Right.
That's why you eat the lamb.
Right.
That's why you eat the bitter herb, because of the bitterness that Yahawashi went through for the children of Israel.
Fucking lettuce.
Yeah, the remission of sins.
Well, you see what that dude doing now, you know? All that lettuce fucked up your brain, bro.
No,
This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. And that, go ahead, brother.
Well, that punishment is love. Just like you punish your sons.
That's right.
You don't go down the street and get to, you might see a little kid down the street do some badass shit. You're not about to pull your belt out and, come here, little nigga. No, that ain't your son. I don't care what you know. Yeah, go ding dong this to somebody blow your brains out. I don't care. You ain't my son. My son, he do that shit. He gonna get his motherfucking ass whooped. Because that's my son. That's love. Hebrews the Hebrews 12, the water. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. said, out of all the families of the earth, the Lord said he knows us. How does the Lord know us? By giving us the law, statutes, and commandments so that we can be acquainted with him.
That's
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
And that's love.
Yahawashi, ultimately,
He said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Okay, the world is Israel. Isaiah 45:17.
Simple.
Come on, man. It said, is Israel the everlasting salvation. Okay? So the Lord loved Israel so much, he gave Yahawashi. Yahawashi is only going to save Israel. He shall gather together his elect from the four winds. Okay?
That's fucked up, bro. Really, when you think about it, bro.
Hey, which heathen is in the four winds? Only other nation that's in the four winds is the Edomites.
That's my bad. No, you're good, bro. It's just fucked up because that's fucked up, man. Because Yahawah's sacrifice was for this whole purpose, for us to be saved. And you're trying to incorporate a nation of people that he didn't sacrifice himself for.
That his dad, his father hate. His father hates you goddamn devils, man.
Hey,
he don't love you.
It tell you that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. It says the Lord loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go.
Only the Israelites can dwell with wisdom. And I got one more one to back up y'all point real quick. There's a second edge. I'm gonna just read straight to the point. You really start up and you read all the way down. I'm gonna just read 2 verses. Second edge is 3. We already quoted it earlier. Yaquan quoted the last verse earlier. This second edge is 3, and I want the point in alright, 32. Or is there any other people that know of thee besides Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? And yet
which have so believed thy covenants as Jacob.
There you go.
Only the Israelites don't believe in the Lord and keep the commandments and do all the things y'all talking about doing.
Well, it's in our spirit, bro. You know, every spirit, animals have a spirit too. You know what I'm saying? They're not people. Everything is created for its purpose and use. The Israelites was created for what they were created for, was to be the woman unto the Lord, right? To uphold the secrets and continue his ways in the earth. The heathen wasn't supposed to be in that same altitude. What you think they're going to be doing? No, bro. The heathen was supposed to be serving. Who else was supposed to run? Who we supposed to give charge to? Who we supposed to govern? You know what I'm saying? Who we supposed to institute the ways of the Lord to if everybody can receive salvation?
Right.
It says, that's dumb, bro. That's stupid. That's how you know they took the bag by default. A spiritual man will be able to understand that these niggas took the bag. There's no way else to say it or put it. Because at one point in time, these niggas was teaching someone. Exactly. Exactly. Anyways, this second is 3. And the last verse, I'm just reading 33. And yet the reward appeareth not, talking about our reward, and their labor have no fruit, for I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments.
Right.
Like you said. That's all
Ezra 6.
Yeah.
He said, if the world not be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Right.
He said in the 3rd chapter right here, he said they flow in wealth. They ain't poor. He said the Lord chosen the poor in this world rich in faith.
There you go.
These heathen, they receiving it. Ishmael received blessings. He said 12 Christians shout out, 10 or 12 Christians shout out feet. Ishmael is wealthy than the motherfucker.
Right.
The Edomites,
They're talking like how they tent set up all here.
yeah, man, the Edomites, they got money. The Elamites, they got money.
Yep.
Okay? Moab got money. All these niggas flow in wealth. It's just you so-called Negroes unto those Native Americans. You the poor of this world, rich in faith. Okay, that the Lord is coming for, to deliver, to save from these deplorable conditions.
That's the point. That's salvation.
Right.
If these niggas is squandering wealth, what do they need to be saved from?
From their tax
what are you
bracket.
talking about?
Save me from my wealth, Lord.
Bro, listen, even when Jacob is rich, like Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry ass niggas, these niggas still is proven to be in captivity. They can't move like the elites that are
Say
rich
what they want.
and say what they want and do what they know.
They can't even spend their money how they want.
Exactly, nigga. So how the fuck by default, no matter if they got that money, they're still in captivity, which means they still need saving.
Then half these niggas you figure out really don't got the money that you think they got.
Right. Documentary come out years later. I was broke the whole time. They was good. My agent was stealing my money.
Yeah.
He was a small hat and all this other shit, man.
Put on that front to keep up with
It
the
said
Joneses.
this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Yeah.
Okay? They are all of them snared in holes. Okay? Our people bugged out our mind. You snared in the hole right now, Genesis. You snared in the Christianity hole, man. You went right back to your vomit, man. You can finish the chapter.
All right, I'll finish up. 2 3:34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance.
Right?
See? Revelation 11, like you were saying. And there is also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they, right, because the name is a reputation. The reputation is only found amongst the Israelites. You see? In
That's
truth
what
and
it says.
sincerity.
So Romans, the
There you
2nd
go.
chapter, it tells you how the Israelites that don't even know the Israelites keep the law because it's
Right.
written in their soul.
Right.
Okay, they keep certain laws. That's why he said weigh our wickedness in the balance compared to the heathen, because the average heathen is way more wicked than the average Israelite.
Come on, man.
Okay? Because they don't even, they doing all type of weird shit. And you be surprised what these heathens do behind the closed doors, man.
Brother.
Bro, it tell you that in Romans 9, right? That Romans 9 say you made one vessel to honor and one vessel to dishonor. Go ahead.
Well, they don't have no moral compass.
Exactly.
That's that internal, that's the law written in their hearts. They don't have that moral compass. Them niggas just do whatever the fuck. Them niggas eat live octopuses and, you know what I'm saying? You see them niggas in India, them niggas be on the street selling food, flies all in the food. They just start putting, add a little dirt in there and let me put a little booty shit in there like, bro. And then they'll serve it and nigga pay money for this shit. And I'm good. I would do what you do. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I was watching these.
An Israelite would never, bro. I don't care how wicked this nigga is. He would never go for that shit, man.
You saw what y'all saw when the nigga was in the pot? The nigga was in the pot. The Edomite was in the pot. He was in a hot ass pot serving the food.
Yeah,
he was
bro,
actually in the pot, dipping the fucking shit and put it in the bowl and handing it to the niggas online. He was in that bitch though.
It's called peak soup.
Yeah, real
Peak soup, my brother. Like,
I'm going to say the other thing is how you know these people the heathen. Here it is. The Lord, He gave us a law, statutes, and commandments. He gave us a dietary law, so we know what to eat. We know what not to eat. We're princes of the power. So you got these damn sheiks over here in Dubai or whatever. The delicate food that they eat that they consider the top of the tier is fucking camels, bro.
at least Israel know how to
Camel humps,
cook
bro.
their food all the way.
That shit is off, bro. And then they don't wash their hands. They tell you as long as you eat with the right hand, 'cause that hand is always clean. It doesn't matter if you might have wiped your ass with the left hand or whatever. As long as they see you put that right hand in there, everybody is comfortable with you eating out the pot, because they eat with their hands. They don't eat with utensils.
That's idolatry right there.
Come on, bro.
You worshiping your right hand. What type of shit is that? Go ahead, man.
And that motherfucking nasty anyway. All hands is nasty, okay? Nasty, bro.
What's like it? Yeah, we finish this out. Look at this 3. And I'm gonna read 34 again. Weigh down therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there is also that dwell in the world.
Right.
And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
So there had never been a time where the heathen was keeping the commandments. Not once.
Right.
He said, well, see if there was ever a time when they didn't sin in that sight.
Right. Because that word precept go back to law.
Right.
So when have the people of this world kept the laws of the Lord? Never.
Never.
Instituted under King Solomon. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the closest they came to keeping the ways of the Lord on the earth since our existence.
And it was forced on them.
And it was
They
forced
said
on
we
them.
tormented them. We tormented them with righteousness. How the hell you gonna save the people that think righteousness is torment? Bro.
Ain't say in Isaiah 60, if the nation that would not serve you should be
prepared.
Yeah, should be prepared. So that's a force upon you. You know, that's a torment because they don't like the way of righteousness. That's why they did away with the Sabbath and the land Sabbath and the way it's
Being
torture
over
to
the
them.
woman.
Yes,
They hate that type of shit, man.
Yes,
That shit irks their soul.
yes.
You know, my woman should be able to boss me around.
Happy life, happy wife.
That's how it's supposed
Happy
to be,
wife,
though, bro.
fuck that shit, bro.
That's how it's supposed to be because they're a vessel for dishonor. So why would anything else be right? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they consider our ways like we to them?
Oh,
they
clean
to us.
contrary. That's
Clean
wisdom of
contrary.
Solomon too.
Yes.
It said their ways
I got
are
you. I
clean
got you.
contrary.
I got you.
You know, and it was one. Where's that at? Where they talk about this people is a rebellious people. They is that Judah? He said like this people is rebellious and they are a pest to the basically they're like pests of the nation and this and that. I can't think of where it's at, but you know where that one of them.
Yeah. All right.
This is Psalms chapter 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Right. Hold on, because we always read that scripture, but that's saying a lot.
Yes,
It said he showeth his word unto Jacob, meaning in the spirit, he showeth his word. The Israelites is the only ones that's drawn to this book.
Yeah.
Okay? It said they have a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah.
That's the Israelites. That's not the heathen. Okay? He have not dealt so with the heathen in that way. So they're not being shown the virtue of the Bible or the validity of the Bible. They don't have a zeal for the book because he's not dealing with them in the spirit like that.
Yeah, and it's been like that from the beginning because when you go back to Genesis, man was on the earth already. Right. And then it said he breathed into Adam the breath of life. So there's a separation right there. And then when you go into Adam's role, he was what? To keep, to dress, to govern, to guard, right, the nations, to teach them the ways of the Lord. Through him, he was the first priest.
And it said that all the trees in the garden envy Adam.
Come on,
Why?
man.
Because they ain't get that. They ain't get what Adam got. They
Yes.
weren't on the level that Adam was on.
It's the same thing it said, wasn't it Solomon 7? It said, I think it's 7, it said through envy of the devil.
Right.
That
came into the world.
There you go, man.
You know?
So, come on,
Read
man.
that again. Verse
This-
20.
It says, Psalms 147 and 20. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Yahawashi said, I have come to do the will of my Father. He said he came to do exactly what the Lord said. So the Lord, Yahawashi is not going against that. Okay? The scriptures specifically say the mystery of the Gentiles. Why does it say that the Gentiles is a mystery? Why does it say that if it's just talking about the heathen? Why would it say that this is a mystery if it's just talking about the heathen? Because it's not talking about the heathen. It's a mystery as to who the Gentiles are. Even though we're telling you who they are, we're breaking it down, we're using secular history, using precepts in the Bible, it still goes over the majority of people's head because it was meant to be a mystery. Mysterion, which in the Greek mysterion means revealed only to the immortals, the initiated ones,
Right.
which is the elect.
Right.
An angel got to tap you on the forehead for you to see it
Exactly.
in the spirit. You got something?
Yeah, just back you up real quick.
This is Colossians chapter 1 and verse 25. Whereof I am made a minister according to dispensation of the Most High, which is given to me for you.
Because Apostle Paul was made a minister to the Gentiles. He said, I magnify my office.
That's right.
Why? Because there was more Israelites that didn't know that they was Israelites than Israelites that did.
Exactly.
So Apostle Paul being a very studied and well-educated man, and you from no mean city, you know, it's like you from New York City, you got a lot of culture and you got a lot of charisma, and you done seen a lot. That's how the Apostle Paul was. He spoke multiple languages.
Yep.
So he was made a minister to the Israelite foreigners that were Hellenized, Romanized, Greekized, you know, in these different lands, even in Ethiopia, you know, wherever the Israelites were scattered.
Yeah,
Read that again.
because that word dispensation, when you go into that word right there, it goes into like basically a manager of household affairs. So a governor, like for lack of better words, a manager over the overseer over the employees of that,
Over that office.
over that office.
The office of the Gentiles.
There you go.
Okay, and who taught the Apostle Paul? Yahawashi.
Directly.
You know? He knocked him off the horse, said, allow me to introduce myself.
Right,
My name is Yahawashi.
Yup.
Knocked him off the horse, man. Because the Apostle Paul was doing what? He was persecuting those Israelites that were following Yahawashi. But you got it though.
Colossians chapter 1 and 25 again. Whereof I am made a minister according to the dispensation of the Most High, which is given to me for you.
Right. He said you have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. This only came through via the Holy Spirit, which were placed on a particular group of men that, and then expounded from that Spirit. Portions from that Spirit went on other men, and those men only came out of the nation of Israel, and that could receive the understanding of what was being taught. No other nation, man. Why? Because that would mean the Holy Spirit is a liar.
Yeah.
You see, that would make the Most High a liar. He said in Malachi 3:6, I change not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. If the Lord changed, then the nations could come in. That would mean the Lord is a liar. But the promise was from the beginning. That's why he always mentioned Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in that order. He talked about your son when our forefathers had many sons. These things were mentioned in that aspect, in that caliber, so that the message won't get lost in 2025. Right. So we can still have the same mindset from the ancient world to understand the message, because the message never changed. Go ahead, Doc.
It says to fulfill the word of the Most High.
To fulfill the word of the Lord, man. Go ahead.
Even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations.
You guys can't fulfill it. Like the apostle said, fulfill full, meaning field. I mean, field to the full. That's what fulfill means. You can't fulfill the full doctrine because you missed the mystery of the Gentiles. You can have everything else. But then when it comes to the Gentiles, y'all clueless, man. You're clueless. Okay? So you're not able to fulfill the doctrine of YAHWAH because the mystery of the Gentiles, it's a mystery, man. Is it more?
It says,
that's why we need salvation. Niggas bugged out in Babylon, bro.
it says, but now is made manifest to his saints.
Right. It's made manifest to his saints.
He
Who are
revealed
the
his secrets to his servants, the prophets.
Who are the saints? The Israelites. Right. The mysteries and the secrets was revealed to his saints.
It says, to whom the Most High would make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles.
Oh, right. Because Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, talk about how you were strangers from the covenant of promise of the Commonwealth of Israel. You know, you didn't know that you had an inheritance. You know, you didn't know that you had promises that were for you from Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, which include everlasting life. You know, they say he broke down the middle wall of partition. What's that talking about, man? Okay, that's all the relationship between the Heavenly Father and Israel. Yep. Remember, it said he would basically do away with us, but then he said that he would bring us back. I'm thinking about Hosea, the 1st chapter. He said, in the place where it was saying unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said, ye are the sons of the living God. That right there proves that the Israelites will become Gentiles.
Yeah, because you mentioned the middle wall petition. That's what he did. That's what Yahawashi did on the cross. When the temple rent, and all that happened, when Yahawah's sacrifice was to bring it back of the southern and the northern kingdom, making us whole again. You see, that's what Yahawa's sacrifice did. So you're blaspheming the Spirit, man. You see, when you saying nations could make it, you're saying Yahawa's sacrifice, they were part of Yahawa's sacrifice. That's blasphemy, man.
I ain't gotta be as strong as you to win.
Go ahead, Doc.
It says, which is the Hamashiach in you, the hope of glory, whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect.
That's it.
In the Yahawashi Hamashiach.
Wisdom makes us perfect.
It just said it.
Yep. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and tell you they make you friends and prophets of the Most High. That's what the wisdom do, right? That's gonna be our stability in the darkest time, right? Stability in the darkness means I got light. I can see which is coming from the oil that we possess, which is the truth. That's an extension of the heavens, which means that we are one with Yahawah and only the elect is going to have that stability in that time, man. You see? Mental equilibrium when you go to that word stability. You see? And you got something? I got that. Let me get some clothes. Yeah, I got go ahead, I got that.
Because another thing too, Salaki, I want to go off topic, but bring it a little more full circle too. We saw Edom, his kingdom about to go down. Like you said earlier, this nigga been reigning for over, what, 250 years?
Longer than that.
In the flesh, right, longer than that. In the flesh, that's a long time. In the eyes of the Lord, that's short. This is Psalms chapter 94. Matter of fact, let me read this first. Psalms 94:3. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph?
Right.
Because right now, it seems like right now to the naked eye, it seems like these niggas gonna be ruling forever, man. They gloating, right? The scriptures talk about in their pride, how they persecute the poor. And right now, that's what they're doing. They're talking about digital IDs. Right now in Kenya, next month, I believe they're enforcing digital IDs, man. To the point where any baby that's born down there, instead of receiving a paper certificate or a birth certificate, as soon as they get born, they're receiving a click for a digital ID, man. Yep. So these are the things Esau Edom is doing to do what? To exalt his kingdom, man. Yep. So to us, it's goddamn, Lord, how long? You know, but this is the answer to that. Job 20:5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Because the Lord knows how long, the Lord, in the heavens, this place already been destroyed, man. You know? And the story in the eyes of the Lord, it's a short story, man. But to us, it's like a novel. So all these things have to play out, you know, for us in order for us to get the kingdom, man. It's gonna seem like it's a long time, but it's really not. We really don't have that long. That's why the Lord said, with Romans 13:11, for it's high time to wake out of sleep, you know, and how basically salvation is nearer than when we believe. So that means even when Paul was on the scene, salvation was closer than when they believed. So how much more now will we believe?
Yep. So we said one day to the Lord is 1,000 years, 1,000 years as one day. You know.
Right. Salvation ain't for the heathens, man. And our salvation is nearer than when we believe, because it's for us. It's not for you niggas, man. It's not for Moab. It's not for Assyrians, Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopians. None of these heathens, not for them. And that's the reason why they don't got certain qualities that the Israelites have.
So Luke 1:68. It said, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. That's who the redemption is for.
You might have to get that, bro. It tell you, can I get that real quick? Because it tell you at the top of that, on the verse you're talking about, I'm going to read that. This is Luke 1. It says, this is Luke 1, and it says, verse 68. I can start right there. It says, I meant under it, not on top of it. Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, possessive pronouns, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of the servant David. A horn represents power. The Lord has constructed the things you see in power consistent of the house of David for his people.
Wasn't that Zacharias who said that?
Yes.
John the Baptist.
Yes.
John the Baptist's father said that.
Yeah, because
because Yahawashi was being born during around the same time John the Baptist was in the womb, Yahawashi was in the womb. It was born around the same time, you know. So it all worked together, because John the Baptist will be the one to do what? Turn the children, the hearts of the children back into the Father.
Yes.
Yahawashi will be the one to actually give the sacrifice to do it. You know, Yahawashi will be the actual, sacrifice to do that, man. So that's a heavy chapter right there, man.
And I'm gonna read the last verse. One more verse for that. Because like we said, this message has been the same message since the beginning. It never changed. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. What is he talking about? The first two verses that I just read. Prophecies.
You can't negate what's in the Old Testament, but they're trying to take the New Testament and form their doctrine around the New Testament.
Right.
Okay, because the promises is in the Old Testament.
Right.
And in the New Testament as well. But when you read in the New Testament, it goes over your head.
Right. Because it's an extension of what was already told in the Old Testament, what the prophets are old. That's why that anytime there was controversy, what do? Always resort back to what the prophets did, the stories, what the Lord, because it's the same thing. I'm just telling you, I'm expounding on it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm giving you the heightened version of what was being told then. Because we're in those times.
If they speak not according to his word, it's because there's no light in them.
Exactly.
Because you supposed to reference, like the apostle said, you got to answer a scripture with a scripture, dumbass.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to answer a scripture with another scripture, man. Okay? It's called precept upon precept. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how he's going to teach you knowledge and doctrine.
Right, one don't contradict the other. They complement it. It's one piece.
It's more than that,
Yeah. 71, Luke 1:71, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
How we going to be saved from our enemies and with our enemies?
Right. It
Here it
says,
is, this dude, like, I forget what the other said, but he gave the analogy. This guy got you chained up in the basement for 9 years or whatever. And then somebody finally come and save you, and they save him with you.
Right. Damn, bro,
right. You have been torturing the whole time.
You
beat your ass,
all type of shit.
popping your woman, you know what I'm saying, feeding you all type of nasty ass, feeding you bugs,
Oh my goodness.
Humans,
crabs,
feces.
lock you in a room with a crab like they did during slavery. And now here come the authorities. I'm going to save you both.
Right.
You're gonna be like, what's up with this?
You're gonna take down the nigga in charge.
What's up with this?
Right, you're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to, bro. If he don't take himself out, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them niggas take themselves out because they don't want to get caught. Like Nero, he took himself out in his first reign.
Damn, bro, it's
You
some
know what
stuff
I'm
on the
saying?
You
internet
can take
about that
yourself out,
dude
you're gonna
right
come
now.
right back.
Yup.
You know, because that's the thing. Our God is the God of the living, man. You could do what you want. Death is not going to escape what you got coming, man.
Yup.
Okay.
It says to perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
Go back to the promises. It all goes back to the promises, man. That's how we're gonna be saved from our enemies, man. Okay, not with the enemy, not beside the enemy, not holding hand in hand with the enemy. Don't hand join the hand. The wicked shall not be unpunished, man.
And it says to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our
Holy
fathers.
covenant. Holy
Abraham.
means separate, set apart. It's only for one people. The covenant is only for one people. Hebrews 8 and 8. It mentions Israel and it mentions Judah. It says he's gonna write the laws in our hearts. Okay? Got it.
It says that it says the oath which he swore to our father Abraham.
Yeah, because he said that's Zechariah, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's in the same chapter of Simeon. Before Yahawashi was born, he said, I have seen the salvation of Israel. You know, because he recognized the baby in the womb.
Yeah, right. Let me see
Got it.
Yeah, right. It says, you got to die.
Oh yeah, 10%.
Okay. It says, yeah, because I brought this out as well. I love this. This bring a point home. We tell you everything he's saying. It says, and I think I read it like 75, just 74, that he will grant unto us that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies might serve him without fear in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life.
We gonna serve the Lord without fear because he's not gonna bring the heathen up against us. Okay? The only reason why the Lord raised the heathen up against us is because when we disobeyed. Go back to Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
It said, if thou wouldest not hearken, then he said that they shall get up above thee very high, thou shalt come down very low. He never said that we going to, both the Israelites and the heathens going to be doing the same things at once. It's like a teeter-totter. You know, you're at the playground and one person on one side, one go up, one go down. That's how it is with the blessings and the curses. So we on our way. It's a what the brother say? It's like one escalator going up, the other one is going down. Y'all know what song I'm talking about. So hey, that's what it is right now. We going up and y'all going down. Okay? That's it on that?
That's it on that.
Anybody got anything else? Alright, so with that we pray, hope we pray this is edifying to remember of the Lord's elect. Turn to the east, giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH.
This is the true name of the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son. Double honor to the Apostle Elizabeth Millstone. Come Yahshua, Shalom.
Bob the ball.